Origins of the Plantagenets. The Plantagenet dynasty, which ruled England from 1154 to 1485, is one of the most influential in English history, leaving a legacy of legal, political, and cultural innovations. However, the roots of this powerful lineage lie in the 12th century, shaped by the ambitions of Geoffrey of Anjou and Empress Matilda, and solidified during the turbulent period known as the Anarchy. Let's explore the origins of the Plantagenets, including Geoffrey of Anjou's foundational role, the civil strife that defined the Anarchy, evolving historiographical perspectives on Matilda's leadership, and the broader context of Angevin politics and culture that shaped this enduring dynasty. Geoffrey of Anjou's legacy, the emergence of a dynasty. Geoffrey of Anjou, the patriarch of the Plantagenet dynasty, played a pivotal role in establishing the family's prominence in European politics. Born in 1113 to Fulk V, Count of Anjou and later King of Jerusalem, Geoffrey inherited the county of Anjou, Maine, and Touraine. His marriage in 1128 to Empress Matilda, the daughter of King Henry I of England and widow of Holy Roman Emperor Henry V, positioned Geoffrey as a crucial figure in Anglo-Norman succession disputes. A strategic marriage. Geoffrey's marriage to Matilda was not only a personal alliance but a meticulously crafted political maneuver. The union represented the merging of two powerful houses, Normandy and Anjou, each with its own claims and aspirations. By aligning with Matilda, Geoffrey extended Angevin influence into England and gained legitimacy through association with the Norman dynasty. This marriage also established a lasting connection between Anjou and England, setting the stage for what would later become the Angevin Empire. Geoffrey's military and administrative reforms. Known for his martial prowess and administrative skill, Geoffrey consolidated his territories and laid the foundation for his son, Henry II, to inherit a vast empire. His epithet Plantagenet, derived from the broom plant, Plantagenista, he adopted as his personal emblem, symbolized the enduring identity of the dynasty. Geoffrey's emphasis on chivalric values, fortifications, and strategic alliances profoundly influenced his descendants. Geoffrey implemented innovative administrative practices in his territories, including streamlined tax collection and record-keeping systems, which would later be reflected in the governance strategies of his son Henry II. These practices set a precedent for the centralization of power and the professionalization of royal administration, key features of the Plantagenet rule. Cultural and political innovations. A synthesis of traditions. Geoffrey's court blended Angevin, Norman, and Frankish traditions, fostering a vibrant cultural milieu. This synthesis shaped the Angevin Empire's governance and diplomacy, creating a framework that Henry II would expand upon. Geoffrey's court emphasized the importance of loyalty, military strength, and administrative competence, traits that defined the Plantagenet rulers. Geoffrey's court also served as a center of cultural patronage. Poets, chroniclers, and scholars thrived under his rule, and the Angevin court became a hub for the dissemination of ideas. This cultural dynamism not only elevated the prestige of the Plantagenet dynasty but also helped establish their broader legacy as patrons of learning and the arts. Fortifications and military strategy. Geoffrey's legacy included innovations in castle building and military strategy. His construction of fortified strongholds across Anjou demonstrated his understanding of the importance of secure territorial control. These castles were more than just military structures, they symbolized authority, stability, and the ruler's ability to protect his subjects. Key examples include Château de Chinon and Château d'Angers, which not only fortified his territories but also served as administrative centers. These strongholds embodied the Plantagenet emphasis on blending military utility with architectural grandeur, a tradition that would be carried forward by his descendants. Marriage alliances and diplomacy. Geoffrey's marriage to Matilda exemplifies his strategic acumen. This union was not merely a personal alliance but a political maneuver designed to assert Angevin influence over England. By securing Matilda's claim to the English throne, Geoffrey positioned their descendants to dominate both sides of the Channel. His deft navigation of feudal politics in France ensured stability within his own territories, setting the stage for Henry II's eventual consolidation of the Angevin Empire. The Anarchy, 1135 to 1153, a period of chaos and transition. Political chaos and rivalry. The death of King Henry I of England in 1135 without a legitimate male heir plunged the realm into a period of civil war known as the Anarchy. Although Matilda had been named Henry's successor and received oaths of loyalty from the barons, her cousin Stephen of Blois seized the throne with the support of key nobles and the church. This usurpation sparked nearly 2 decades of conflict, as both claimants vied for control of England. The Anarchy exposed the fragility of feudal governance, as barons exploited the breakdown of royal authority to assert their autonomy. Chroniclers describe the period as one of widespread lawlessness and suffering. The Anglo-Saxon Chronicle famously lamented that Christ and his saints slept, highlighting the pervasive violence and despair of the time. Key events and turning points. The Anarchy was marked by shifting alliances, sieges, and dramatic episodes. In 1141, Matilda's forces captured King Stephen at the Battle of Lincoln, a victory that briefly tipped the scales in her favor. Despite this, Matilda struggled to gain widespread support. The failure of her coronation attempt in London underscored the challenges she faced as a female claimant in a patriarchal society. The Treaty of Wallingford in 1153 marked the end of the Civil War, recognizing Stephen as king but naming Matilda's son, Henry of Anjou, as his heir. This compromise not only secured the Plantagenet succession but also highlighted the political savvy of both parties in avoiding further devastation. Economic and social consequences. The Anarchy devastated the English economy. Agricultural production plummeted due to constant warfare, and heavy taxation exacerbated the suffering of the peasantry. Urban centers became battlegrounds, disrupting trade networks and undermining economic stability. Nevertheless, the lessons of the Anarchy informed Henry II's governance, particularly his focus on restoring royal authority and reforming administrative practices. The period's hardships underscored the importance of centralized control and paved the way for the Plantagenet dynasty's long-term success. Historiography, reassessing Matilda's leadership. Medieval perspectives. Contemporary accounts of Matilda's leadership often reflect the gender biases of the medieval period. Chroniclers such as William of Malmesbury acknowledged her legitimate claim to the throne but criticized her assertiveness, describing her as haughty and unable to win the loyalty of her subjects. These narratives often contrasted her perceived failures with the successes of male rulers, perpetuating a view of Matilda as an unsuitable leader. Modern feminist interpretations. Feminist historians have re-evaluated Matilda's role, emphasizing her political acumen and resilience. Scholars such as Marjorie Shibnall highlight the systemic barriers Matilda faced and argue that her inability to secure the throne stemmed more from societal constraints than personal shortcomings. Her leadership during the Anarchy demonstrated remarkable strategic brilliance, particularly in moments like her escape from Oxford Castle. Modern scholarship reframes Matilda not as a failed monarch but as a trailblazer who challenged the patriarchal norms of her time. This reinterpretation enriches our understanding of her role in Plantagenet history and underscores the complexity of medieval power dynamics. The wider context, Angevin politics and society. The role of barons and local governance. The Anarchy highlighted the importance of baronial cooperation in maintaining political stability. The Treaty of Wallingford exemplified the need for compromise between the monarchy and the nobility, a theme that would define Plantagenet governance. This balance of power laid the groundwork for the development of institutions like Parliament, which emerged as a forum for negotiation and conflict resolution. Cultural and intellectual foundations. The 12th century was a period of cultural and intellectual flourishing. Geoffrey of Anjou's court championed chivalric ideals and promoted the arts, creating a cultural foundation that influenced the Plantagenet kings. The Angevin Empire became a center for literary and architectural innovation, reflecting the dynasty's commitment to blending tradition with progress. Broader European context. The Plantagenet dynasty's rise cannot be understood in isolation. The broader currents of medieval European politics, including the investiture controversy and the Crusades, shaped the environment in which they emerged. These events underscored the interconnectedness of European powers and highlighted the Plantagenets' ability to navigate complex alliances and rivalries. Conclusion. The origins of the Plantagenet dynasty were forged in a crucible of ambition, conflict, and resilience. Geoffrey of Anjou's strategic vision laid the groundwork for the family's rise to power, blending diplomacy, cultural innovation, and military strength. The Anarchy, despite its chaos, ultimately set the stage for the consolidation of Plantagenet rule under Henry II. Finally, the historiographical re-evaluation of Matilda's leadership highlights the enduring significance of her contributions, challenging traditional narratives and offering new insights into the complexities of medieval power dynamics. By examining the roots of the Plantagenets, we gain a deeper appreciation for the forces that shaped one of England's most influential dynasties. The challenges they overcame and the legacies they forged continue to resonate, providing a window into the political and cultural currents of medieval Europe. Thanks for listening. Like, comment, and subscribe to Medieval Chronicles 1066 for more explorations in medieval history. Stay curious.